Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Well, today, me and Miley decided we were going to have pancakes. And so, you're not going to eat no more? Oh. Anyway, she wanted chips in her pancakes, so we put in butterscotch chips. And, yeah, now we got a big old plate of pancakes. I'll show you. See them? And they got caramel chips in them. So I was going to have her come in here and we were going to eat some pancakes and talk to you, have breakfast today with you. But she already ate. How many did you eat?
Four.
Four pancakes. And I had put not even, maybe a fourth of a bag of caramel chips in there. And it seemed like some of the ones didn't have very many chips in them. I get down to the bottom of the mixing cup and there's a whole bunch there, so I had to add some more stuff. So, needless to say, the last three pancakes are loaded, and the one I got, see, it's the biggest one. I'll only eat one. Now we got Andrew up. Andrew, do you want some caramel pancakes? There you go. This one's loaded. Here's butter. Now my grandson Andrew's up. Yeah, no school today, so we tried to sleep in, but me and Marley didn't quite sleep in. Well, I was up as usual. She couldn't sleep no more, so she's up. And then now we got Andrew up, so. Yep, that's what we're doing. And I just thought, well, I'm not into doing mukbangs or nothing like that. And that's not what this is. This is just having pancakes with you. My grandson, Joe, or Andrew, he thinks it's funny. I don't know what it's going to do today. Looks kind of gray out. The syrup's right here, honey, in the butter. And my niece, Kathy, she lives out in Utah. And she said yesterday she works in this building. I forget what she does. But she said it was raining, hailing, snowing, and thunder and lightning. Well, and still had, there were still leaves on the tree, and this was going on. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
The kids, they're going to their Grandma Schaefer's house today, and they're going to camp out in the backyard. The Grandma Schaefer, she has a. Are you going to use a tent, or are you sleeping in her? Okay, she has a tent camper, so they're going to camp out in the backyard, which that's nice. Yes, and they're putting a swing up, a little swing. Their Grandma Schaefer. She is a friend of mine in school, and I still consider her my friend. And even though my daughter and her son are having problems with their marriage, it's not going to stop me from still being close to her. It's not our fault. It really isn't. So I don't think we should punish ourselves because our children can't deal with it. So, you know, once you find one of your school friends, you don't say, well, hey, I ain't gonna be your friend no more. Because that's not the way it is. She is the sweetest woman. I'm telling you, she is. Will you go get me some bacon?
Okay.
And she was always like that in school. A very sweet girl. Me, I don't know. I was okay, but I was a little bit of a rebel rouser, maybe. Not bad, but yeah, you know. Yeah, my family, there was my brother Jim. Well, there is my brother Jim. And my sister Kathy. Me and my brother Kenny. Well, most of the three of us in temperament, well, we're the mildest.
Oh, Ruben.
And then you got
Ruben.
Lisa, Nancy, and Susan, and they're a little bit boisterous and loud. They can get that way. And, yeah, that's just the way families are, I guess. Um, of our family, Kenny and Lisa and I graduated from high school. Um, Lisa, she went to a joint vocational school. She became an LPN first. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a nurse, but there's no way my parents could afford it, so that had to be put on hold. And then when I had kids and got divorced, I got help from the county, and I went to college to become an RN. Now, let me tell you, that was a big challenge for me because I wasn't the smartest kid in school. And I had my own way of figuring things out, which one of my college professors or instructor wasn't exactly thrilled with me. She even said one time to me, "You're going to be an embarrassment to Edison School." Well, see, I might not have been book smart, which I wasn't, but I was clinic smart. If you could show me, if you showed me how to do something, I would do it. And, you know, and she made all of us mad, even the other girls when they heard her say that. And, you know, when you're in college, especially a community college, you can, you know, when you're taking, well, what happens are you grade your instructors. So she didn't get a very good report. I still don't like her to this day, even though she is an old woman now. But I did graduate, and I did go to state boards, and state boards was held in Columbus, Cincinnati, and I do believe Toledo or Cleveland. Okay, just stay close around here, Miley. And you know, I always talk to God, and I said, you know, if you don't help me get through this, you know, you're going to have to open another door for me. And I think he got tired of hearing me say that. He was probably so happy I graduated. Um, so a bunch of us went to Columbus. Um, that was, I graduated in, trying to think, I don't know if I graduated in 94, but yeah, 94 from nursing school. And that was the last year they did state testing where you all went to these different places. Now, the nursing board is in Columbus, Ohio, and that's where we went. Um, and that was the one I do believe had the biggest amount of students there taking tests. I know we had two testing sites. Um, do you know where, has anybody been in Ohio around Columbus? Um, we had, it was like a big, I don't know, rec center or something. And it was right next to the river. And they had this old boat, kind of like, Christopher Columbus boat, sitting in the river. And that's where it was at. And we were in a hotel there too. And it took 2 days to take these tests. And it was really nerve wracking because then you sat at a table, and I think there was like 3 girls or guys too at a table, and you faced forward. Then that was there. There was another building. I took my test with 1,000 people. 1,000 people in this room. And there was 500 more taking a test at another spot close to us. So there was 1,500 people, nursing students there taking their test for 2 days. Um, and I can't think of her name, but the head of the nursing board of nursing, Rosa something, she stood up. I can still see her standing up on that stage talking to us. And we had mentors. These were women, when you were taking a test, that walked around your table. Now, all you were allowed to have there was the book they give you to do and a couple pencils. That's all you were allowed to have on the table. And they constantly walked around that table while you were taking a test, making sure nobody was cheating. Or I don't know, if you needed help, you probably could have said something to them. But you know what? I was so scared when I took my nursing test, I didn't ask anybody anything. Uh, so, you can sit down over here. And we took the biggest part of the test that one day. And then we all went back to the hotel. And I'm trying to think. Well, I think we did get lunch. They'd let us out for lunch, and we did go and get like McDonald's or something like that. And we did go downstairs in the at the motel and would get. We had continental breakfast. That was just orange juice, coffee, and donuts. And a bunch of us brought food. And everybody said, "We're not bringing any books. We're not bringing any books." So I didn't bring books. Um, but they did. So I didn't bring no books to study. So, you know, while they're all racking their head, I was just sitting there looking out the window, and there was a bunch of us on this one floor. I mean, it was like a sorority house or something. We left the doors open and everything. Girls running up and down the halls. Um, I don't remember eating there at all, really. Um, but the second day, we had to pack up our vehicle and get ready to go because it was only going to be a half a day for this second part of the test, the second day. And then when we did it, we would leave from there. So we went in and did our second part of the test, and to tell you the truth, I don't even really remember it. I remember the first day, but I don't remember the second too much. And finally we're done. Everybody's loading up in the car, and we're all talking, and everybody's, you don't know if you passed or if you failed. You really don't know. Because after we were done with our tests, they collected them. They were sealed in boxes, and they were sent to California to be graded and stuff. So, um, we left, and I remember when we were on the interstate, you could still see, all of us were like depressed. Um, you know, somebody had, I think the driver, her name was Marcia, but she had said something about, dude, we want to stop and eat it. And all of us were like, no, we just want to go home. So we went on home, and I remember sitting there and looking out the window and looking at Columbus and thinking, and this is weird. And I was thinking, I'm never going to see you again. I'll never be back here again. So I don't know if I was thinking I wasn't going to pass or what. Anyway, we made it home. I had parked my car at the college because it's in the same town I live in. Ooh, that was a sweet bite. And I got in the car and I went home, and my three girls were there. My sister had stayed with them. And then we had to wait for the envelope to come in the mail. It said whether you passed or failed. I think it was about 6 weeks. And I passed. Out of 44 girls. No, out of 40 girls. Let me see. Out of 44 girls, that was in my college class. 41 of us passed, and 3 didn't. Of course, those 3. I know one of them, she was having a real hard time at home. Her son had a baby born, and he was born premature, and she was worried about him. Which the next year, she went back and she took the test again, and she did pass. So, um, you know, that was all good. And as far as I know, she might still be working as a nurse. I don't know. She didn't work all the time, but she was working at them big hospitals in Dayton, and I was working in nursing homes. Well, anyway, after I passed, I was up at Kroger's, and I was walking back to my car, and there's this instructor that had talked so horribly to me. And she said, "Oh, Ruth, congratulations. I heard you. Um, we're so proud that you passed your test." And I looked at her, and I actually said, "F you." You know, she did everything she could to ruin me. And no, okay, that wasn't right of me to say something like that. Um, in God's eyes, I should have been polite, showed her I was a better person. But I think the devil was in me that time and just told her that and walked on. So then, I went on, got a job over in New Carlisle at a little nursing home. And I was able to buy my first car, brand new car. And gradually I got a job in Pickle. But yeah, that's my story, and I've kept you long enough, and I thank you for having breakfast with me and my little story time. And sun's coming out, and I got a mess I got to clean up, and so I'm going to go. You have a wonderful day. Um, just enjoy it and do something you want to do. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all.